Hello and welcome. I am Nancy and you are watching News Today. It's time for headlines. A Maryland anesthesiologist and her U.S. Army doctor spouse have been charged with trying to help Russia in its war against Ukraine with medical records that they thought Moscow could exploit, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland said Thursday. The records never made it to Moscow, but they were given to an undercover FBI agent who received information about patients, including at least 5 at Fort Bragg, the U.S. Army base in North Carolina, federal authorities said. One of the patients was married to an employee of the Office of Naval Intelligence, the federal indictment said. The undercover agent was told that the spouse had a medical issue that Russia could use to its advantage. Federal authorities identified the anesthesiologist as Anna Gabrielian, 36, of Rockville, who works at an unidentified Baltimore medical facility. She is married to Jamie Lee Henry, 39, who was a U.S. Army major and internist at Fort Bragg. Gabrielian and Henry each face charges of conspiracy and wrongful disclosure of individually identifiable health information. The federal indictment does not describe what ties, if any, the couple has to Russia. But according to the indictment, Gabrielian told the agent she was motivated by patriotism toward Russia to provide any assistance she could to Russia, even if it meant being fired or going to jail. The undercover agent posed as someone from the Russian embassy and first approached Gabrielian in August, the indictment said. During their first meeting, Gabrielian said she had previously contacted the Russian embassy by email and phone to offer her and Henry's assistance. According to the indictment, Gabrielian said Henry could provide information regarding how the U.S. military establishes hospitals in war conditions as well as information about previous training the U.S. provided to Ukraine. Henry later met with the agent and claimed to have volunteered to join the Russian military after the invasion but was told the Russians only wanted people with combat experience, the indictment stated. Henry also said the U.S. was using Ukrainians as a proxy for their own hatred toward Russia. Portland police arrested one stabbing suspect for murder just before noon. Then, after 8:30 p.m., they responded to a second deadly stabbing. Portland police detained a suspect after a deadly stabbing in Old Town, the second homicide investigation in 9 hours in the neighborhood. On Friday, September 30th, after 8:30 p.m., Central Precinct officers responded to a report of a stabbing at Northwest Broadway and Couch Streets. When paramedics arrived on scene, they found the victim deceased. Officers started an investigation and detained one suspect. They told KGW they are not looking for any other suspects. This stabbing comes just hours after police arrested and charged Dorian Cannon, 50, with second-degree murder and unlawful use of a weapon for a stabbing death 4 blocks away. Detectives located Cannon a couple blocks north of the crime scene at West Burnside Street and Northwest 3rd Avenue. Officers responded to a report of a stabbing there around 11:28 a.m. Friday. When police arrived, they found a man injured on the sidewalk. Paramedics determined that he was dead. Court documents show Cannon was arrested just this week on minor charges and that he has a long criminal history of charges like harassment, trespassing, theft, and bias crime dating back in 2004. In 2020, Cannon was charged with bias crime after police said he threatened a TriMed employee with a knife. Documents reveal Cannon spent some time in the Oregon State Hospital before pleading no contest to that charge. He was sentenced to several months in prison. Court documents also show his fitness to proceed was drawn into question by the court. The Portland Police Bureau has not yet released the names of the stabbing victims. A new car with a shockingly low price could significantly accelerate India's ability to ditch gas-powered vehicles. Tata Motors recently released their Tiago.ev, an electric hatchback that's ultra-accessible thanks to its $10,000 starting price. While Tata Motors has lagged behind world competitors in EV production, the Indian-based manufacturer can still make a significant splash in its home country. India has strict protectionist laws making it difficult for foreign auto manufacturers to launch vehicles without on-site production, electric reports. Tesla has been denied the ability to launch in India several times due to this protectionist legislation. Tata Motors' new affordable hatchback provides a prime opportunity to grow India's EV presence since the country has to rely on its own auto manufacturers to shift into electrification. The Tiago.ev will offer up to 195 miles in driving range and a fast charging time of 57 minutes, according to the car's maker. This economy EV's battery pack and motor are dust-proof and waterproof to ensure long-term durability. If you're expecting the Tiago.ev to have carpeted seats, you'll be pleasantly surprised to find a cabin with leatherette upholstery. Rounding out this EV's cabin is an 8-speaker sound system, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and a central infotainment display.